Hey, we are live. I'm going to wait a little bit for some of you guys to join us. This is the training today on how to rank advance using the initiatives. I'm super excited to share with you guys some of the things that our team did. And while I'm waiting for people to join, I would love to have you guys drop in the comments where you're from. I just like to kind of do icebreakers at all of the events that I do. And you never know, someone might post where they're from and you didn't know they were from, where you are, and maybe you guys could do an event together. So if you're up for it, drop a hey and where you're from. And maybe it can be an opportunity for you guys to collaborate with people in your area. Hey guys, glad to see you guys on here. I'm actually gonna pull up my iPad too so that I can kind of answer questions. See that going on. So that I kind of have another device so that I'm not looking at comments while I'm talking. So I hope that's okay. So if you're just joining us, would love for you guys to put where you're from so that if someone's close to you, you can reach out to them and say, hey, let's do an event. That'd be awesome. Or, you never know. Just figure it's another opportunity for you guys to collaborate with one another. So, okay, let's see what time it is. All right, I'm gonna get started. And so this is really interesting for me because I'm a little bit new at this too, but I have found a lot of success in using these initiatives. It was kind of a huge boost for myself and my team, and so I'm really excited to share with you guys how it's kind of changed things for me. Forgot to say where I'm from. I'm asking you guys to all do that, but I am from Southern California, San Diego County. I live in Fallbrook. So if anybody's around, love to do something with you guys. So we have teams all over. So glad to have you guys here. Okay, so first thing is what we did to create exposures to be able to even talk to people about these initiatives. So you have to kind of create a space or an environment to be able to have people that want to talk to you or for the most part trust you. So we did a couple of different events this last week and I've done them throughout the last year, even within my home. And what has been the most successful for me has been classes. And the reason being is that people want to get something out of wherever they're going. That's just kind of our nature. So if you can create value, because a lot of people are like, sometimes they'll show up because they're your friend, which is awesome. But for a lot of people, when I was just saying, hey, I'm having this event at my house and we're going to talk about health and wellness and this company that I'm with, people were just not interested. If they showed up at all, it was because they were just kind of supporting me as a friend. Oh, I almost forgot, you guys. I'm going to put this on. This is so cool. I set this here so I wouldn't forget. So I put this on my phone when I do lives. I got this at the USANA convention a couple of years ago. Okay, so I'm going to put this on and you're just going to have to bear with me here really fast. See? Cool, huh? Okay, so if you have a Tel Aviv selfie ring, you can use it for your lives too. Okay, so when I did classes, it was nice because I would get some different kinds of people as well. So for example, I have done a vegan class on vegan cooking, and of course we showed some of the USANA products that fall into those categories for those kind of people. They need different kinds of proteins. So we definitely showed them how different dietary choices they can make, but also USANA products. I've done, the most recent ones that we did were what do we call it? Summer Snacking Simplified. And we had a couple of snacks that we had already made, but we also made snacks there with them. So we made actually the protein bites that we just posted in the 28-day program, a version of that. We had everybody make together, and while we were making those, we talked about some of the products that we were using in them and why we chose those products. So you kind of have to create an environment to be able to talk about it in not so much a sneaky way, but not so in your face way, because they also wanted to come there just to hear other information as well. That's what got them there in the first place. So in a larger group setting, just like I did when I started this video, you got to break the ice and create an environment where they trust you. Kind of initially go around the room, have them say something about themselves, something they want to learn that night. Sometimes I'll switch gears and talk about something else based on what everyone's saying that's there, kind of breaks the ice and allows them to trust you, because that trust is really important. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. And when we went around the room, kind of introduced, like, I'm really bad with names, but I could kind of pinpoint who was going to need what and who was going to be willing. And the person that was sitting there with their arms crossed, who probably was going to take a little bit more work. You just kind of have to feel that out. But it showed other people that were there that there's other interests too, and that USANA has a lot of solutions for the things that they're interested in or their concerns. So as the class goes on, I just very simply say, let's say we were doing the Summer Snacking Simplified class, and I have my USANA stuff out there, and I grab the bag, and I just very simply say, this is the company that I trust. And there's lots of reasons why I trust using them, and you can say your own reasons that you trust them, but you're really going to have maybe 60 seconds to say whatever it is that you're going to say and then move on. And if they're there and they're your friend and they trust you, then they'll trust USANA as well. You don't need to go into all the details at that point. Just this is a product that I trust that has made a difference in my life. So this is what we're going to use, basically, in this, whatever it is that you're making or whatever it is that you're talking about. Sometimes when I'm talking about the immune system or things like that, I'm like, you need to be taking a probiotic. And if you want to hear about the one that I trust, let me know and we can talk about it. Very, very, very simple. It's not about being sneaky necessarily, but you want to show them how USANA is a staple in your everyday life, how it's really, really simple, that it doesn't need to be complicated. It just integrates into your life. It doesn't have to be this huge, big thing that you're going to change. People don't like change inherently, so make sure that they know that it's really simple, which is why the initiatives work so well. So we go through our class, and I'll talk about individual one-on-ones too. But we've gone through our class, we've kind of made the snacks, people have sampled them, they love them, so of course they want to be able to make them. So a lot of them are going to buy the products that are there. But remember at the beginning when I asked them to share their health goals or their concerns, at the end I walked around and it wasn't very long, maybe 2 minutes with each of them. I said, I know you were concerned about XYZ. I would really recommend this initiative pack, and I'll tell you why. Because it's really easy. It's already done for you. You don't have to think about it. It would be a really good jump start. It's not that you have to stay on it forever, but if you were really serious, like you said you were, remind them that they said they were ready to make a change. If you're really serious, like you said you were, this would be a really good way to jump start into your health goals. So you're going to show them the value, okay? It's only $10 a day. You can't beat that. And especially with the Shake It Up program, you're replacing a meal. A lot of people eat out for that cost. So for them, it's just a redistribution of funds. And the other programs, again, it's only $10 a day for 28 days, and it's a discounted product. And the one thing you want to make sure is that you are recommending it to them. This is what I recommend. And I'm confident that it is a good fit for you. Make sure that you show them how confident you are in your recommendations. You're not wishy-washy. This is what I recommend. And when they're like, yep, we're ready to go, I had my little tablet up and we were logged in, and I was able to hand them my tablet and they were able to order it right then. And if they had to leave or something like that, I would make a recommendation and say, how do you feel about that? Does that sound good to you? And it was something they agreed to. We would send them a share link. So they were expecting it. So that's the beauty of it, is that you can say, great, I'm going to send you a link to the email that you gave me. We had a sign-up sheet. Everybody that came in, we had a sign-up sheet. The beauty of doing these classes too is that there's a lot of recipes that people want. So they're willing to give you their email because they want to get the recipes. So we make sure everyone signs in and gets their email and their contact information so that we can then email them their recipes or information about the class, things like that. So that kind of adds to your ability to increase your emailing lists and things like that as well, and follow up with them and be able to send the share links, which are super awesome. So let's say hypothetically that they're like, yep, let's do it. You've got them on the initiatives. That person's great. You can kind of share that with somebody else and say, you know what? If you're doing it, I think it would be a good fit for so-and-so. Let's go see if they want to do it with you. That would be really awesome. So that kind of happened at one of our events where I was sitting with two people and they both ended up getting initiatives because they could see the value in it because I was sitting with both of them. Sometimes though, it's not that easy. And they're a little bit hesitant and they're like, well, I don't know if I can spend that much money. And you're like, perfect. Let's talk about your priorities. And so now it's back in their court. You want them talking, okay? That's how they're going to trust you. The more they're talking to you, the more they're going to trust you, right? So you're always going to send it back to them. Keep asking them questions. Keep asking about the things that they need. So perfect. Okay, well, let's talk about your priorities. What do you think what's your number one priority? And then you can create a new list based on their priorities. So you're not necessarily going to lose them as a customer, but you're always going to start with the initiatives, and then you're going to kind of have a backup plan from there. It kind of goes progressively down from there. And I have kind of a really good example about that from when I was on a one-on-one with somebody, which I'll kind of talk about. But I want to go back to making those recommendations in the beginning. You want to make sure you're keeping it simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Just say the recommendations, say how it's going to help them. Are they interested? Great. And make sure that, again, you're listening. I had an experience where I went into sitting with somebody. She had expressed weight loss as one of her health goals. And when I actually went and talked to her again and was able to ask her some more detailed questions about why, she actually expressed that she had some thyroid concerns and some hormone concerns. And I realized that a different initiative pack would actually be better for her. I said, I was thinking about recommending the Shake It Up pack for you, but now that we've talked some more, I feel like the Balance for Your Belly pack would be a better fit. What do you think? And then she's like, yeah, you're right. I do think that bringing balance to my gut would bring balance to my hormones. And now it's been her decision. She's like, I think that is a good fit. So she was really keen on going ahead and picking something else because she could see that I was truly trying to help her. I was listening and she could trust me. Okay. So to the one-on-one, when it doesn't actually work out, you went into it expecting to sell an initiative, but they're kind of hesitant. So I had a one-on-one. This was not an event. It was with someone who had been a client of mine in the past, was no longer, she's kind of inactive, and I met with her she knew up front what I was going to be talking to her about. We kind of were talking about her health goals, where she was at. She had a lot change in between, and I had kind of thought, based on what she told me, that she was going to get a Shake It Up pack. I was pretty confident in it, actually. And that was my expectation going in. But after our conversation, she had told me that she had purchased, we'll say, some other products from a different company. And they included some probiotics and some other nutritionals and things like that. And so, of course, I was a little bit bummed, because you want people to feel the same way you do and have that same belief and testimony in the products that you do. But not everybody does. You have to respect that. So I continue to ask questions. I hope you're getting that as an overall theme, that your job is to be asking questions. Lots of questions. You want to find out what their needs are. So I realized that she was still looking for something to fulfill a need. She had a need, she had a want, and I just had to figure out how I could help her. So I continued to ask questions and realized that she actually didn't love the shakes that she was taking. So even though I wanted her on the Shake It Up pack, I did present it to her. I showed her that it was a discounted pack. It had the shakes, it had the probiotics, it had all the things in it that she's been wanting, but she still had other probiotics. Nobody wants to waste money. So I was able to show her that she could purchase the products separately. And then when she was done with what she was taking, she can go ahead and switch over and buy this initiative pack. So that was my backup plan, and it worked. She bought 2 bags of shakes and a digestive enzyme. So just know that you can always lead with the initiative packs. They're awesome, but always have different levels, because you never know where someone's at. They may really want to do it and maybe their budget isn't there, but that doesn't mean that there isn't a way for you to be able to help them. And if you keep that in your mind, that you're not there necessarily to sell, you got to think long term, that your job is just to be helping them figure out their health goals too. So always keep that in the back of your mind. There's probably an option, but lead with the initiatives, because they're the best option right now. It's just so easy, already done. And a lot of times I used to have like a spreadsheet with like all the products, and we'd sit down and kind of make one up, and it took like 25 minutes. And now with the initiatives, the great thing is, especially when I am at an event with like 10 people, I have like a laptop and like a little tablet like this and I'll have it up, and multiple people can just be logging in and buying the products right then. It's so easy, and they're automatically enrolled as preferred customers, which is so great because you don't have to be thinking about it. People love to hear, look, as soon as you log in and put your information in there, you pay what I pay. And they're like, really? That's amazing. Like, I know, USANA is such a great company that they just want everyone to be a part of the healthiest family on earth. Isn't that awesome? So again, you're just really organically putting in there the things about the company. And you'll have the opportunity later to maybe talk more about the company and the story, even though it's really great. A lot of people don't want to sit through it at first. If you're still talking to them after 10 minutes and nobody has said anything, you've probably lost all of them. You want to keep them talking. Don't be asking yes or no questions. Make sure you're asking questions that get people to talk. There's actually a really great book that I highly recommend. I like to get it for a lot of my new associates. It's called like 365 Days of Coaching or something like that. It's just a little blue book, and maybe I'll post it in the links. And it literally is just a book full of questions to help people make decisions depending on what their concerns or objective is. It's one of my favorites because if someone is trying to overcome like financial things or maybe relationship things, and that's kind of their objectives to it, you can kind of ask them certain questions to see how it's serving them to help them to commit to a lifestyle change. And people really need that. They want to know that you're going to be there to help them. So in the order of operation, when I'm working with people, I'm just kind of looking through my notes to make sure I don't miss anything here. Yeah, I think I got all of that. So you're going to first start with the incentive packs. Keep it simple, okay? Talk about the savings. Talk about everything that they're going to be getting and how much it is and how you love all of the products that are in there. The health pack makes it really simple. Whatever you want to say, whatever is your, what I call pocket phrase. I love having just like phrases that just I use all the time that really work, that you just kind of pull out of your pocket when you need them. So make sure you have some pocket phrases that, you know, as you've been listening to people that work for you. Let them know that you'll be able to help them, that they're not going to order and then they're on their own, that there's a whole community of people that you can plug them in. There's Facebook groups. Don't worry when your, product comes, let me know. Make sure that they know that you're going to support them. And then when it does come, follow through with it, right? So make sure that they know that, and make sure that you are really confident in being able to talk about all the things that are out there that will support them. Again, those are like pocket phrases for me as well. I'm a health coach outside of USANA, and so for me, I like to offer coaching sessions to people who get the incentives, which is actually one of the big ways that we got people to purchase incentives. But you don't have to be a health coach to offer help to people, and that's what we want you guys to know today, is that when you continue to add value and build that trust with people, they are more likely to want to do things with you. So, to review, trying to keep it to 20 minutes. And I talk really fast, so you guys got a lot of info tonight, right? So first, your job is to find out what their need is. Whether you're meeting with an event or a one-on-one, your job is to ask lots of questions to get them talking to you. Discover their need, because you're going to be really familiar with the USANA initiative packs, and so you'll be able to listen and then make a recommendation, right? So ask lots of questions, find a need. Then create value. So that's going to create their trust with you. Okay. So find a need, create value and trust. And then third, be confident. Make that recommendation and say that you're confident it's a good fit and that you're excited for them to try it. No hesitation. Like, this is going to be a good fit. This is going to be really good for you. If I was you, I would find the way to purchase this initiative pack. And then fourth, lead with the incentive packs, but always have a backup plan. So start with the optimal level and tell them that that's the optimal level. This would be my number one recommendation for you. But if that doesn't work for you, there's lots of options, and I know that we can find something that will work for you. Then they're like, okay, so now they've committed. So you've got them as a customer no matter what, right? So Okay, well, the initiatives aren't going to work, but I know we can find something that's going to work for you. Does that sound good? Okay, great. And then you move forward, and then you hand them the iPad or whatever it is that you have and say, okay, here's a new list that I made for you. Does this look good? Does this work in your budget? This gets you most of the things we were talking about. Great. And then you give them that and you move on to the next person. Okay. The only exception to this rule is when you're meeting with someone and you've laid the expectation that you're going to be talking about USANA as a company. So I also have met with gym owners and doctors' offices, other health coaches, and their expectation when I sit down with them is to learn about USANA as a company. But when you're really leading with these initiatives, the only thing that you have to really be talking about is how it's going to help them and how this is for them and their healthy lifestyle. And everything else will kind of fall into place after that. Okay, I'm going to look through and make sure I don't have any questions because I think I'm on time. So if anybody has any questions, I'm just going to kind of scroll really fast. Yes, I love being able to say you pay what I pay. It's really great. People love that they're not being sold something. Nobody ever buys anything when they feel like they're being sold something. And technically, we're not really selling a thing. We're selling a lifestyle, right? So we want to make sure that people understand that. I love that. Thanks. Okay. I'm just going to scroll through. Okay, so I'll take some time to scroll through all kind of the rest of these. And if any of you have questions, I'll make sure to go back and answer them in the comments below. But this was really fun. Thanks for inviting me to come on. I hope this helped you guys a little bit to understand the value of these initiative packs. I mean, really, it was so simple, almost surprising how simple it was when I made a confident recommendation for people with these initiative packs and how easy it was for them to just say, yeah, you know what? That sounds really good. I can do that. Great. Let's get you started. So I hope that this will give you guys some more confidence to be able to use that in your business, and maybe you guys can help each other out. And I look forward to seeing how it goes for you guys.